Michael Todd versus Vitaly Laletin.
I'm kind of on the fence on this one. Vitali has the leverage, the hand control, everything he needs to beat Michael Todd. He's got the speed, the hit. The only thing I'm questioning is if he has the finishing power. Ermes showed us the path. Hit over, taking the hand, transition, regrip. I think Vitali can dominate that. The only thing I'm unsure about is if he can transition into a press to finish him, because I don't think you're going to beat Michael just by top rolling. I actually think Vitali is going to do it. And we're going to see Vitali pulling Levan next.
Gennady Kvikvinia versus Ibragim Sagov.
Gennady is going to be pulling 105 kilos. I think that's awesome. Yeah, Gennady. I think it's going to be a bad day for Ibragim. Yeah, hands down. I think Gennady wins. I think Sagov may sneak one in on him with a press if Gennady is not ready for it, but I think Gennady all day, every day. I'm confident.
Matt Mask versus Chicagazi.
I'm confident. I think I'm going to sweep the floor with him, but at the same time, I'm nervous as hell because I don't want the possibility of me losing to somebody so tiny. I'm excited to be able to stand across the table from somebody that might be able to match my energy. Nugo is a little man with big dreams. I am the most dangerous arm wrestler in that 105 kilo class. That class is mine. I am going to run that class, and I'm going to walk through every single person that stands across the table from me. Objectively, I would say 3-1 for Matt. He's going to give him one round because he feels bad for him.
Kamil Jablonsky versus Georgie Geranov.
I honestly think Georgie is going to beat Kamil. I really do. I think Kamil may sneak 1 or 2 on him with early starts, but I think Georgie is going to grab him down by the wrist, try to drive into his press. I think Kamil's going to end up palm up, and we're going to see Georgie just sit right on top of his arm. Georgie looks like a completely different animal. I think Georgie is going to beat Kamil 3-1, maybe 3-2.
Todd Hutchkins versus Rustam Babayev.
Hutchins is unstoppable right now. I think Hutchins 95 kilos. I don't see anybody beating him anytime soon, especially in a hook.
Arthur Macarov versus Daniel Pupshuk.
I know both of them. I think that's going to be a hell of a battle. One guy trying to top roll, somebody else trying to hook. Daniel has an amazing stop half an inch from the pad. I'm going to say Daniel. I think Arthur has the tools, hand size, forearm, what you need to beat Daniel, especially if he can transition into a press. But I think that stop Daniel has is going to be too much for Arthur, and I think he's going to bleed him. Arthur is going to be offensive, probably come out hot for the first one, maybe 2 rounds, and then I totally see it being a turning point and switching over to Daniel. I say Daniel wins 4-2.
Paul Lynn versus David Samushio.
I think just like the first one, it's going to be a grinder, an absolute grinder. Both have tremendous inside power, so much heart, don't ever want to give up. I think this is a match to watch for sure. I'm totally on the fence. But I think Paul Lynn is going to do it. 30 seconds from now, I'm thinking David's going to do it. Paul Lynn, coming off his couple loss streak, I think Paul Lynn has probably dug deep. I think Paul Lynn is going to take this one. I'm going with Paul Lynn 3-2 over David.
Ivan Matyushenko versus Sergey Kalinichenko.
If Ivan gets inside with him, you know it's over. His ability to drive inside is second or third best. Sergey has real good post, back pressure, pronation, but sets up really high, which in my eyes would make it easier for Ivan to sink that hook. I think if Sergey was to pull him, he shouldn't be training the hook. He should be figuring out how to low-hand top roll. I gotta go with Ivan on this one. I don't know if he's going to be able to stop Ivan from sinking his hook. I'm gonna say Ivan 3-1. I even see it possibly being a clean sweep.
Joselyn Brisson versus Eglabite Kutim.
I was amazingly impressed by Joselyn. The amount of power Joselyn displayed when she pulled Sarah. I was not expecting that at all. It was almost very similar to the way her opponent beat Sarah as well. So, I think that's going to be a battle for sure. I'm back and forth on this. I want to say Joselyn, but her opponent has so much more experience. Yeah, I'm totally on the fence on this one because both of them are really, really strong. I think the only thing holding her back right now is her experience.
Georgie Tsvetkov versus David Dadikian.
After David's last performance against Kardasha, that was pretty impressive. Georgie's right arm is phenomenal. I know his left is strong too, but I don't know where it is compared to his right. I think David is going to end up taking Georgie. I think Georgie might get one, but I think we're going to see David adjust, and it's going to be a 3-1 victory for David. I'm cheering for Georgie, but my head's telling me that David's going to win this one.
Petro Marharian versus Lachlan Adair.
I think it's going to be a battle, because we know Lachlan wants to go inside. Lachlan's got the massive strong arms. If he beat Nugo, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Lachlan. I'm going with Lachlan on this one. I'm going with the brother from down under.
Zurab Tabitzi versus Georgie Tautiev.
Isn't Zurab just coming back from surgery himself? Honestly, I couldn't make an accurate prediction on either of those guys.